at the gold ones. They're beautiful. I've never seen anything like it.
They really went all out this year. It's spectacular.
Will you spend the rest of your life with me?
Yes. Yes, I will. Happy New Year, my love.
Happy New Year! What a beautiful night.
What if one New Year's Eve could change everything? Not with noise, but with a promise whispered beneath the fireworks. Tonight's story follows De and Huyen as they stand hand in hand under a sky bursting with color, celebrating not only the arrival of a new year, but the strength of their love. From the tender moments before midnight, to the breathtaking fireworks that light up their hearts, and finally to the quiet promises they make for the future. This is a story about devotion, hope, and choosing each other again. Subscribe to the channel and step into this unforgettable romantic New Year journey. New Year's Eve arrived with a tenderness that seemed almost sacred, as if the world itself was holding its breath in anticipation of a brand new beginning. The city shimmered beneath a velvet sky, draped in countless strands of golden lights that flickered like fallen stars. Streets once ordinary were transformed into rivers of color and sound, alive with laughter, music, and the distant echo of firecrackers warming up the night. Among the crowds gathering by the lakeside promenade, Duke and Huyen walked hand in hand, moving at an unhurried pace as though they wanted to stretch every second of the final hours of the year. The cool breeze carried the faint scent of spring blossoms and street food from nearby vendors, brushing softly against Huyen's cheeks and sending loose strands of her hair dancing in the air. Duke noticed, of course. He always did. With a quiet, protective instinct, he drew a little closer to her, their shoulders touching, their fingers interlaced more tightly, as if sealing an unspoken promise. They did not need grand gestures or elaborate plans. The simple act of being together was enough. Around them, families posed for photos, children waved glowing sticks, and couples leaned into each other, whispering wishes into the night. Yet, in that vibrant sea of humanity, Duke felt as though a gentle hush surrounded just the two of them. He glanced at Huyen and saw the reflection of city lights in her eyes, bright, hopeful, full of dreams not yet spoken aloud. She looked back at him and smiled, a soft, knowing smile that carried the warmth of every shared memory from the year behind them, the challenges they had overcome, the quiet evenings spent talking about the future, the small misunderstandings that had only strengthened their bond. Each memory shimmered between them like another spark waiting to rise into the sky. They found a place near the water where the skyline unfolded in a dazzling arc. The lake mirrored the lights above, turning the surface into liquid gold. Huyen leaned slightly against Duke, and he could feel the steady rhythm of her breathing, calm and trusting. He realized then that happiness did not always arrive in loud declarations. Sometimes it appeared in the gentle squeeze of a hand, the silent exchange of glances, the shared anticipation of something beautiful about to happen. As the countdown clock projected on a nearby building began to tick away the final minutes of the year, a wave of excitement rippled through the crowd. Voices rose, laughter grew louder, and anticipation pulsed in the air like a heartbeat. But for Duke, the world narrowed to the warmth of Huyen's hand in his, the softness of her presence at his side, and the quiet certainty that no matter what the coming year would bring, this, standing together beneath a sky on the verge of exploding into light, was exactly where he was meant to be. As the final seconds of the countdown echoed across the lake, the crowd began to chant in unison. 10, 9, 8, each number rising higher, charged with anticipation. Dee felt Huyen's fingers tighten around his hand, her excitement almost childlike, almost contagious. When the clock struck midnight, the sky erupted. A thunderous burst shattered the darkness, and a brilliant bloom of gold exploded overhead, cascading into 1,000 shimmering sparks. The reflection rippled across the water, doubling the magic, as if heaven and earth had agreed to celebrate together. Cheers erupted around them, strangers embracing, voices shouting Happy New Year in joyous harmony. But amid the noise and dazzling light, Dee's attention never left Huyen. Her face was illuminated by the fireworks, first gold, then crimson, then a breathtaking sapphire that painted her features in shifting hues. Her eyes widened with wonder, sparkling brighter than the sky itself. She gasped softly, then laughed, the sound pure and unguarded. It was that laugh that undid him. He realized in that instant that all the colors bursting above were magnificent, but none compared to the radiance of her happiness. Without thinking, he stepped behind her and wrapped his arms around her waist, drawing her gently into his embrace. She leaned back into him naturally, as though she had always belonged there, as though his arms were the safest place in the world. Another explosion of light bloomed, this time a cascade of silver streaks raining down like falling stars. The sound reverberated in his chest, yet beneath the thunder of celebration, Dee could hear his own heartbeat, steady and certain. He lowered his head slightly, his voice barely audible against the roar of fireworks. "Thank you," he whispered near her ear, his breath warm against the cool night air. "For staying, for believing in us, for every day we've shared." Huyen's hands rose to rest over his, her fingers tracing the lines of his knuckles as if memorizing them. She didn't turn around immediately, but he felt the quiet emotion in the way she held him closer. The sky transformed again, now a symphony of violet and emerald bursting outward in perfect rhythm. Smoke drifted lazily above, lit from beneath by continuous flares of light, creating a dreamlike haze. Around them, the world seemed suspended between endings and beginnings. Dee realized that this moment was more than just celebration. It was a threshold. The year behind them, with its trials and triumphs, dissolved like fading sparks, while the year ahead opened like an unwritten page waiting for their story. Huyen finally turned within his embrace, her cheeks flushed from the cold and the thrill of it all. "Happy New Year," she said softly, her voice trembling not from the chill but from emotion. For a heartbeat, the fireworks paused, leaving a hush over the lake. In that fragile silence, they looked at each other, not as two people caught in a crowd, but as two souls choosing one another again at the very first moments of a new year. And when the sky ignited once more in a final, breathtaking crescendo of light, it felt as though the universe itself was blessing their promise. The final wave of fireworks unfurled across the heavens in a breathtaking crescendo. Golden chrysanthemums blooming wide, scarlet comets streaking fearlessly across the dark, and silver sparks cascading down like gentle rain. Then, slowly, almost reluctantly, the brilliance began to fade. The thunderous echoes softened into distant rumbles, and the sky, once ablaze with color, returned to a deep midnight blue, veiled with drifting smoke. Yet, even as the last embers dissolved into the night, something luminous remained between Day and Huyen, something steady and far more enduring than fireworks. The crowd around them gradually shifted from exhilaration to warmth. Strangers exchanged smiles, friends posed for photos, families gathered their children close. Laughter lingered in the air like a sweet aftertaste of celebration. But for Day and Huyen, time seemed to slow into a quieter rhythm. Huyen rested her head gently against Day's shoulder, her body still nestled within the circle of his arms. He could feel the softness of her breath against his chest, calmer now, reflective. The excitement of midnight had settled into something deeper: contentment, gratitude, hope. "I made a wish," Huyen murmured, her voice barely above a whisper, as though speaking too loudly might disturb the fragile magic of the moment. Day smiled, brushing a stray strand of hair away from her face. "Are you going to tell me?" he asked softly. She hesitated, then nodded. I wished that next year, no matter what happens, we'll still be standing like this, together. Maybe in a different place, maybe with bigger dreams, but still together. Her words settled in his heart with profound weight. He realized that love was not merely the intensity of shared celebrations or dramatic declarations beneath exploding skies. It was this, the quiet hope of continuity, the promise of presence, the courage to imagine a future side by side. He turned slightly so he could look into her eyes, now reflecting not fireworks, but the steady glow of nearby lanterns. I don't just want to stand beside you next year, Day replied, his voice steady and sincere. I want to build something with you, a home filled with laughter, mornings that begin with your smile. Even the difficult days, I want to face those with you too. His confession was simple, but it carried the weight of genuine intention. Huyen's eyes shimmered, not from the fading smoke, but from emotion. She reached up and wrapped her arms around him fully now, resting her cheek against his chest. The chill of the night no longer seemed to matter. Around them, the lake shimmered quietly, holding the last reflections of distant lights. The sky, though dark again, felt vast and open, like the future stretching endlessly before them. As they finally began to walk back through the thinning crowd, their hands remained intertwined, fingers fitting together as naturally as breath. The new year had arrived not only in fireworks and cheers, but in a shared promise whispered between two hearts. And though the sky had returned to stillness, within them something continued to glow, steady, unwavering, and ready to light every step of the journey ahead.
Hello, xin chào tất cả các khán giả của kênh Live Single RV. Vậy là câu chuyện của chúng ta ngày hôm nay đã kết thúc tại đây. Trong câu chuyện của chúng ta ngày hôm nay đã kể về nội dung đó chính là khoảnh khắc thiêng liêng trong đêm giao thừa. Huyền và Đệ năm đầu tiên đã cùng nhau đón giao thừa cùng nhau. Hai người rất là vui vẻ và hạnh phúc, cùng nhau nắm tay và cùng nhau gửi đến những lời chúc mừng năm mới đến nhau. Và một điều đặc biệt nữa đó chính là trong đêm giao thừa, lúc pháo hoa nổ ngập trời thì Đệ đã cầu hôn Huyền lại một lần nữa. Cô rất là bất ngờ và hạnh phúc vì không nghĩ là mình lại được cầu hôn ở dưới một màn pháo hoa lãng mạn như thế. Cô lập tức đồng ý với Đệ, cả hai người ôm nhau và trao nhau những nụ hôn rất là say đắm. Vậy là một năm mới chuẩn bị bước sang, cuộc sống của Huyền Đệ sẽ có những sự thay đổi ra sao? Tất cả sẽ được hé lộ vào các câu chuyện tiếp theo sẽ được mình phát sóng hàng ngày trên kênh Live Single RV. Các bạn đừng quên bấm vào nút đăng ký kênh sẽ nhận được thông báo mới nhất về các câu chuyện sẽ được phát sóng hàng ngày trên kênh nha. Cảm ơn các bạn rất nhiều đã luôn theo dõi và ủng hộ kênh của mình. Thanks for watching my video. Please continue support my channel Live Single RV. Bye bye. See you soon tomorrow, everyone.